Bonjour, bonjour. What's up, family? We still grounding, still cracking these videos. So, this is going to be a list on lessons you should teach your son. So, ba-dum boom boom, ba-dum boom boom, ba-dum boom boom, ba-dum boom boom, boom boom boom. Hey, hey, boom boom boom, boom boom boom, ba-dum boom boom, ba-dum boom boom, ba-dum boom boom. So, hopefully, if y'all know what that is, that's from the movie Wolf of Wall Street. That's when Matthew McConaughey was with Leonardo DiCaprio at that high-end, elegant restaurant, and that's pretty much their war song in Wall Street. So that's one of my favorite movies, top five of all time. So that's one of the best scenes. Y'all should that actually transcends past the movie. So, and I felt like doing that because we're talking about man stuff and stuff you should be teaching your son. You know what I'm saying? So we could also do the till you got mud on your face, big disgrace, under the place, saying we will rock you, we will rock you. Okay, just to get us hype, good war songs, and hopefully they don't copyright me for that. I didn't do the song, nor did I say the lyrics per se. I didn't say all the lyrics, nor did I didn't stomp. So I can't copyright that. Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna go in the sun since it's starting all this stuff in one hand. Grounding, you know. So, like I said, this is some of the best time that you could get the sun. And we decided to be talking about lessons you should teach your son. But the sun is starting to come out, and this is the best time to get that sun energy, and you should be staring at the sun. But I don't recommend people doing that. That's a pseudoscience, and I believe there's benefits to that because I believe the sun is alive, and we get that type of energy looking at him and looking at him or her or it. So I'm not gonna show myself looking at the sun and all that. I don't want to go against terms and conditions, influencing y'all to do bad things. So like I said, all this stuff is the truth though. Like I said, the time is, it just hit 9 o'clock. It's 9:02. So it's starting to heat up. I'm trying to get it in. It's starting to be hot already. Me just being in that sun for less than probably 30 seconds to a minute, and it's already burning. And like I said, this isn't even the hottest time of the sun. The hottest time of the sun is from about 11:30 to about 1, and then it gets it gets a little more hot around 3:30 to about 5 o'clock, and then it starts winding down. And then if you go even early, like if you walk early in the morning, like before the sun turns into this, the sun is like very, very orange. It's some trippy stuff, man. Like if you go outside around 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning to about 5:30 to about 6:30, you can see the sunrise, and it's like very, very orange. It's cool. But if you've never seen it for the first time, it kind of shocks you. It's like, whoa, I didn't know it was that orange, and it's almost like red. That's why some cultures, they be like, it's different types of suns. They be like the yellow sun, the orange sun, the red sun, but it's all the same type of sun. It's just, it's a sunrise, and the equator and all that scientific stuff. So once again, this is a list on lessons you should teach your son, and I'm not going to say which ones I agree with. It should just resonate as men to what these lessons are. Like as soon as you hear them, you should go, yeah, that's about right. So, and that's that social agreement that we have as men, that we all come to these conclusions even without speaking on it. So like I said, you get to a certain point, we should transcend past language, because somebody taught us that stuff, and at any moment in time they could just say, hey, we're not doing the English language anymore, and we're going to be learning French or European. Like I said, it's important to be aware, because it'd be bugs crawling on me sometimes, but the bugs are so small and insignificant that you can't really feel them. You can't feel them crawling on you until you look down and you see so it's a very minuscule bug that's on your toe or something. All right, so let's do it. This is 32 things. This is 32 things. We're 6 minutes in already. So you see how this be flowing? Like, see how easy it is to make content though? But like I said, you have to make sure it's practical, because anybody could just, yap on this joint and, just walk around. But that's not really them though. They're kind of leeching off the environment, if you will. Especially if you're not talking about real stuff. Because like I said, and as well as if you script things, like this isn't a script. This is just writing a list down of things. Like all the stuff that I'm, talking about, I'm not, this is all in my mind, and I'm just letting it out. Like I said, I wasn't even expecting to be out here doing this. I could have been inside. Because at first I thought I lost my key. And I thought I had to do this just in the backyard. But I thought, let me go ahead and walk and get some good cardio and stamina and upgrade. Because, the weather's starting to change now. It's August. It's August 12th. So we have about August, September. But last year, it really didn't get that cold until like late December and January. But even then, we had that time, like our weather is so weird. It snowed one week. Flowers on there. It snowed one week, and then the next week it was like 60, 65 degrees. I hope y'all remember that. Like I still remember, I probably have a video on it where my Jeep was stuck in the snow for about 3 days. It was literally stuck in the snow. Now I got my shirt off and it's all sunny. That was a rough winter, man. I ain't gonna hold you. That was a very, 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 very tough winter. So this year I'm invested in snow tools, because my dad gave me a rusty shovel. That was it. My dad gave me this rusty ass shovel and told me to go get it. So, he didn't offer me no salt, no nothing. I just had to, I was chomping at ice pretty much. It was awful. And there was times where I had to walk in the middle of the street, like literally in the middle of the street, because the sidewalks are so full of snow. Like I had to look crazy. Like y'all know where the yellow lines are, like the double lane thing where it tells you can't pass as a car. I was in the middle of the yellow lines. I was walking on the yellow line, and cars are passing me on the right, passing me on the left. It was ridiculous. I wish I could have recorded it, but I don't think I was. Yeah, I wasn't doing videos at the time. Like I started this in May, early May. All right, so let's knock this list out. Because the list is going to go by so quick, I kind of want to run up the time. So, let's do it. And like I said, I'm not going to shake my head or say I agree with it. We're just going to come to this agreement. And like I said, there's so many other lessons that you could teach your son, but I found this specific list and I thought it was cool to write it down and all that. I could make my own list and all that, but I want something that transcends past just my opinion. Even though my opinions they're very, very sat through and they're thought about and righteous and all that. So it's not bullshit. But shit, alright. So let's do. What is that, bro? I think it was just on. I can't tell what that was. It was like some type of black wasp or some type of black wasp or bee looking thing. It may have been one of those dragonflies that I just seen in that previous video, black and white. Alright, so let's do it. So number 1 is never shake a man's hand sitting down. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we heard these things before. I'm pretty sure we heard all these things. But these are like universal lessons you should teach your son. You know, like giving someone a firm handshake instead of just giving a weak handshake. You know, stuff like that. So this is never shake a man's hand sitting down. And I'm not going to explain why either. I'm not going to say I agree, and I'm not going to explain why. So never shake a man's hand sitting down. Don't enter a pool by the stairs. The man at the barbecue grill is the closest thing to a king. In a negotiation, never make the first offer. Request a late checkout, like when you're at a hotel or something. So request a late checkout. When entrusted with a secret, keep it. Hold your heroes to a higher standard. Return a borrowed car with a full tank of gas. Play with passion or don't play at all. When shaking hands, grip firmly and look them in the eye. Don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be. If you need music on the beach, you're missing the point. And not just on the beach, walking in the city, walking in the suburbs, walking at the beach, walking in the snow, walking in the forest, hiking, all that stuff. It's a vibe to it. So if you need music on the beach, you're missing the point. This is number 13. Carry 2 handkerchiefs. And a handkerchief, y'all should know what that is. It's like when you wear a suit, it's that little napkin cloth that sits in that front pocket. You should carry 2 of them. So carry 2 handkerchiefs. The one in your back pocket is for you. The one in your breast pocket is for her. If you know, you know. So, number 14 is you marry the girl, you marry her family. Number 15 is be like a duck. Remain calm on the surface and paddle like crazy underneath. Just making sure no bugs on me. Like I said, I'm still grounding. That was 13 minutes. Really plus, because y'all seen in my other video, my previous video. Make sure no crickets crawl on you, no flies that are sitting on you, no ants, no none of that. And if y'all look at my shorts, y'all should see all the random animals I recorded. I believe that was a groundhog. I recorded a groundhog, and I showed 2 baby deer just in the hood, just walking around, and they even walk across the street to come into my yard. And like I said, I gotta post so many shorts that stuff gets overlooked, but it has a lot of views on it and all that. Like I said, I probably got already probably 200 something shorts, but I didn't know that they have a daily limit, and they don't let you know beforehand. So I pretty much recorded a 3-minute video that will never be seen by anybody because I hit my daily limit, and they told me after I posted it. So I didn't know. I posted like It may have been about 50 shorts yesterday. It was about, I started at 12 in the morning, I believe, and I ended around 2 a.m. And then I got bored, that emotional state of being bored. I just said fuck it and went to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm up, and we back at it. Like I said, I didn't even get to do anything. I didn't get to eat breakfast. I didn't get to do my morning routine per se. I went right into these videos. I'm gonna try to do a long form video morning, noon, evening, and night. So that's 4 videos a day. Long form. 30 minutes of quality content at that. Like, all my videos are quality and actually talking about something. It's not like I'm just walking around, you know what I mean? Okay, so we're moving. We was at number 15, and that's be like a duck, remain calm on the surface, and paddle like crazy underneath. So that's like how I'm doing right now. Like, I look all calm, but like I said, I didn't shower. Y'all just seen me take a walk. Y'all just seen me, I wrote all this stuff down, front and back, paddling like crazy. Like I said, it took me a full day just to write this stuff down. So, be like a duck, but don't be a duck. You know what I'm saying? Because that's an insult to people. Like, they call you a duck, a sitting duck. So, but ducks are calm on the surface, but then you can see underneath they're paddling very, very fast. So, which is how they're able to sit on water. So, be like a duck, remain calm on the surface, and paddle like crazy underneath. Number 16 is experience the serenity of traveling alone, which I agree. I didn't mean to say I agree. I was supposed to, you know what I'm saying? But experience the serenity of traveling alone. And I will also add, go to the movies alone for the first time so you can really experience the movie. Because if you're with your girlfriend, you're not gonna want to look at the movie. Because I wasn't looking at the movie. We looked at the movie for about 5 or 10 minutes. Next thing you know, we kissing, and I'm not gonna say all the other things, because there may be indecent exposure and all that illegal stuff. So that's experience the serenity of traveling alone. And like I said, I would add even walking, like I just did that meditative walk. Even though I'm pretty much doing it with y'all, but y'all not with me. Like, y'all not, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the phone. I wonder if I could show y'all this real quick. So somehow, some way, the grass it's like a circle. Like, y'all see that brown, that light brownness? It's like a full circle. And that's the only thing that's on the grass. Like, the other grass is fine, it's all green. But then specifically in this circle, it's just a big full circle. It's not light brown right here, but it's like all around. It's like a circle, like this part. Like, I'm a walk. It's like how I'm making this circle right now. That's how it looks. So I don't really know what that's about. Hopefully it wasn't a UFO type of thing, like a crop circle or something like that. Because like I said, we doing real high level work over here. Just like the homie, well, not the homie, because he was lame as shit. He was supposed to speak on this stuff. That dude who he was in a Catholic family. It was a Spanish dude. I'm pretty sure y'all remember that. It was about 2 years ago, or last year. Time really merges with me nowadays, so I can't really tell what happened 2 years ago, what happened 3 years ago. Like, it's all just one big timeline at this point. You know what I'm saying? But 2 years ago, it was this Hispanic or Mexican Catholic family out in Las Vegas, and they saw a meteorite cross past the sky, and then they saw some, a unidentified being. I'm not going to say extraterrestrial because I can't prove that, as well as an interdimensional being. So I'll just say an unknown entity or an unidentified being was in their backyard, and I think they was like into construction and all that. So those those vehicles are esoteric, and you could really make change with those vehicles. So that's why it requires like diesel, gas, and all that type of stuff. So a lot of things are attracted to those things. Like they're attracted to those high level vehicles. You know, even bugs are attracted to those vehicles. You know, because it took a lot of work to make these things, and I don't even know how they made this stuff, like the construction vehicles and all that. So they said the entity was trying to drive the construction truck or something like that, which is wild, you know. But then the guy, the boy who saw the boy who saw the unidentified being, he made a YouTube channel, and he made a YouTube video. He only made one YouTube video, only one, which is wild. It's very very scary. He made one, the Mexican dude made one video, and he was also wearing a shirt like trolling us. I think he had like the Simpsons shirt or some goofy shit. But he said he was going to discuss what happened. Next thing you know, we can't find his YouTube channel anymore. They stopped talking about him and all that stuff. So I don't know what's up with that. It's been 2 years. We haven't heard anything about that in a long time. Just like, and it was kind of crazy. What was even more scary is while that was happening in Las Vegas, there was a Miami incident that happened in Miami, Florida, where they had a whole police presence at the mall, at some type of Miami mall. It was so many police and all that, and they kind of swept it under the rug. They never said what happened. And this happened at the same time, like the Las Vegas thing, which is, it's just weird, very very weird. And if you look on News Nation, you can go on YouTube. It's like their own. It's like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, but it's like a smaller news channel, and they speak mainly on. They're the only people that's really speaking on UFOs at a high level. And they brought in like the criminology people, and they was able to make a illustration of the being that they saw, and it looked pretty trippy. You know, it looked like a humanoid type of thing, but it was like it was pretty buff. You know what I'm saying? It was. They said the thing is about. He said it was about 6'5" or 7 feet tall, gray, but not like the gray aliens. It looked like it was a tall one. So I'm not gonna get into all that. So this is lessons you should teach your son. So we stopped at experience the serenity of traveling alone. That was number 16, and we have 32 lists of things. So that's experience the serenity of traveling alone. Number 17 is never be afraid to ask out the best looking girl in the room. So that's all this stuff, making all this noise. So that's experience the serenity of traveling alone. Never be afraid to ask out the best looking girl in the room, which is what I do. That's how I was able to get that virgin cheerleader valedictorian. You know, I never thought I would see her in my life, but you know, through a mutual friend, we was just walking in the hallway, and you know, and I was like, whoa, she trim. And it took me a whole year to get her. You know what I'm saying? Like we were friends at first, and then we became best friends, and you know, we just hit it off. Next thing you know, we were together for 4.5 years. So it was fun. We had a good time. We broke up in 2018. So shout out her. I'm pretty sure she's married and have a kid by now. So that's never be afraid to ask out the best looking girl in the room. And don't be afraid to be, friends at first. Because a lot of people, they say, oh, don't get friend zoned. But if you're really that, the fact that she even wants to be friends with you is a blessing. You know what I mean? So it's your job to push it further. And don't be a lame either by saying, what is it, dirty macking? Don't insult their boyfriend or, stuff like that. Or try to shame other men to make yourself feel superior. That's pretty lame. Because if you're really superior, you don't really have to speak on it. So the next one is number 18. Never turn down a breath mint. Like I said, I can't agree or disagree or explain any further. So never turn down a breath mint. Number 19 is a sports coat is worth 1,000 words. So a sports coat is pretty much like a suit jacket, except you could wear it with jeans. It's pretty much like a what is it? I forget. Casual wear. It's business casual. That's what it is. And that's where you would wear a sports coat. I guess that's it's pretty much like a little flex. It's like a flex jacket. It's like wearing a jacket, except it looks like a suit. Except once again, you could wear jeans, you could wear cowboy boots with it or something like that. A cowboy hat. That's what they do out in Texas and all that type of stuff. Like if it's too hot, they'll wear like a suit jacket, like a sports coat with jeans or whatever, so they don't mess up their good suits and all that. Because in the summertime, they still make you wear suits and all that goofy shit, but you still got to ride the subway and all that. You got to walk to work. Oh, you got to walk to the government building or whatever from the train station. So that's a sports coat is worth 1,000 words. Like I said, I don't agree, nor do I disagree, and I won't explain further. Excuse me. A sports coat. That's the geese. Wow, it's a lot on this. It's so many trees I can't show them. I'm gonna try to get them when they come over here. And I thought that was just in cartoons. They actually do make the V. I don't know how that's possible. Like they literally move in a V formation. And if you look back here, like right there, it's a small family of foxes, or fox. It's a small family of fox, and they can't get past that gate, so they just sit over there looking crazy, making all this little noise, little stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure they're not over there anymore. I'm guessing, because that's somebody else's backyard. But they also can do little goofy shit. That's why I don't really like living in the suburbs or living in an environment full of animals, because they'll bite your gate. They'll transcend past your gate. Well, I didn't mean to say transcend, but hopefully y'all can see that. Look at that. Like either a groundhog or something of that nature bit through the gate, and now they have a little entry. We have stray cats. We have stray cats. We have possums, raccoons, deer, fox. Did I say groundhog? Little stuff like that. And then we have so many birds. I know y'all can hear them. Like in these trees, it's so many of them. It's a good 100-something birds. We get robins, we get blue jays, all that stuff. And if y'all look at my not previous video, but if you look at one of my old videos titled "Let's Go on a Mini Vacation," I took y'all to this beautiful park that I go, and what I was gonna hide out at if it was like a civil war or another pandemic, and I may gotta bug out. I could chill out there for a little bit. it's a beautiful pond, and they have a list of all the animals that are in the pond and that's around the park. So we have blue jays, we have cardinals, we have robins. I don't know all the birds. With a lot of beautiful birds. You know, we have eagles, hawks. So, and then we have turtles in the pond. All that goofy stuff. Okay, so we stopped at a sports coat is worth 1,000 words. Hopefully y'all like me ranting. I guess you could call it ranting, or just adding or rambling, if you will. Ranting, rambling, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I like going off subject like that sometimes, because it feels like I'm really, off the dome, and it's like we're, really talking with each other. You know what I mean? So if you're like, oh, he's yapping and all that bullshit, click off the video, bro. Like I said, this is supposed to be a fun channel of creativity and all that. This is just be on some chill stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a robot. If y'all want somebody to just mouth off lists and everything, y'all have AI. Y'all could talk to AI. Y'all can do all that bullshit. Like, I'm a human being. I'm a natural channel. And I believe adding little things like that, because it works. It works with the video. Okay, so never turn down a breath mint. A sports coat is worth 1,000 words. See, I don't know what type of bird that is, but it's beautiful though. They start at 6:30 in the morning. Early into that, they start at 5:30, because like I said, I'd be up at 4 in the morning, so I'm up before them, so I can hear when they start. It'd be kind of dark outside, but then it starts to light up. Then you hear them. It's like beep 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 beep, tweet tweet tweet. So a sports coat is worth 1,000 words. I won't explain further, but if you know, you can search all this stuff up yourself. We're at number 20. Try writing your own eulogy and never stop revising. You could Google eulogy. That's EULOGY, eulogy. I kind of forgot what that was. I don't know if that's at your funeral. It sounds like a funeral type thing. You know, the thing like in the front cover of the funeral pamphlet. I hate to call it a pamphlet, but it's the piece of paper to let you know about their life and all that type of stuff. So that's a eulogy. Try writing your own eulogy and never stop revising. Number 21 is thank a veteran. Like Biden. Wow, it already 30 minutes already. And just like that, we got to go to another video. Like I said, the next phone, I'm gonna make sure I have it nice and upgraded. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna push for that. I'm gonna push for that iPhone 18 whenever that comes out, and I'm gonna make sure it's like nice and upgraded. And I'll do a review of it. I'll fuck around and even try to sit in line. You know how they do. Sit in line for like a day before type shit. Like I'm that type of person. People hate scalpers and all that type of stuff. I love all that type of stuff. It's very, very fun. And y'all should be doing that too. It's once again, it's that feeling how we feel right now of having to do those 8,000 hours and all that. It puts you in that primal feeling of, yeah, you have to get that. And the only people that hate scalpers are the people who are, waiting, haters and stuff. Like, it's nothing wrong with being a scalper. Now, if you buy all of it, that's something different. But that's capitalism, and we should respect all that stuff. And if you can't beat them, you just got to pay that price, which is capitalism. I don't like how Japan's doing that corruption by taking out the packaging and all that goofy stuff. It's very, very lame. But that goes to show how they don't really care about like all that type of stuff. They just want to make that economic money. They don't really care about us like that. They don't care about us at all. They just, they got to go to work, and they want to be the entrepreneurs. and they got people complaining, so that'll make people not want to do the Pokemon and all that stuff. Okay, so we're moving. Number 21 is thank a veteran, then make it up to him or her by buying them something to eat. If you're in the same vicinity with them, you know, make conversation. I wouldn't say glaze them, but you know, they're kind of saving our life right now. You know, because right now, while I'm making these nice little YouTube videos, there's military people that's in Iran right now, making sure that we're safe. Because at the very least, they hacked our water system. So, and then they're not trying to do negotiations and all that stuff, because you know who is being, you know who, and you know what race is being very arrogant and condescending to these people. You know, but they don't do this with China or Russia, because they know real ones aren't going for that. So, which is understandable. So that's why it's important to play chess with these people, because you know they believe in, you know, suicide. Shouldn't have said that. Now I'm gonna get the video demonetized, but whatever. Like a lot of these countries, they will give their life to these people, you know, and not even to the country, but they pretty much giving their life to the dictator, which is pretty pathetic. But you know, it is what it is. So thank a veteran. And see, all the bugs are starting to come now. It's what, 9 o'clock, 9:30, about to be 10. So that's thank a veteran to make it up to them. I was gonna say give them money, but I mean you can, but you shouldn't just go in your pocket and just hand them money. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they're like a homeless veteran or they have a veterans donation type of thing, you should do that. But you know, giving an active duty military person some money or digging in your pocket, you may get shot or something. So you never know. Or they may feel offended that you gave them money. So that's thank a veteran and make it up to him or her. Number 22 is eat lunch with the new kid. Like I said, I won't explain why. You should just do it. Excuse me. So, eat lunch with the new kid. Number 23 is after writing an angry email, read it carefully, then delete it. So once again, that's number 23. After writing an angry email, read it carefully, then delete it. And I've learned to do stuff like that, because I used to just spaz on people, and then I end up feeling bad afterwards. You know what I mean? Even though they deserved it, but you know, still, you shouldn't be spazzing out on people, because people be doing dumb shit, and then you call them out, and then they get all offended and all that stuff. So you have to pick and choose when to really go off on people. But you shouldn't go off on people in general, especially nowadays, because you know it really doesn't work, like, because they have egos and everything. So all they're gonna want to do is fight you, even if they're wrong. They're gonna say, "Oh, I gotta stand up for myself," and me spazzing out on people, that traumatizes people, and a lot of people don't realize that stuff. Like if I spaz out on you, like if I call you an idiot and all that stuff, they'll remember that when they get home. And if you have nothing to do all day, and if you're sitting in a quiet room, that stuff will pop up to you. They'll be like, did this dude just call me an idiot? You know? And then they'll feel like that all day, and then they'll speak on it the next day. It'd be funny, you know, because like I said, I experienced all this stuff. You know, people come at me the next day saying, "Oh, you remember how you spazzed out on me?" I'm like, "Yeah, what about it?" You know what I'm saying? And I say that to them, and they get even more mad than they be wanting to fight and all that stuff. And you know, we're not doing all that fighting no more. Like I said, I don't even have health care, so I can't just play around with y'all doing all that warrior fighting and all that. And like I said, I only weigh about 140-ish on a good day. So no, I can't do all that fighting with y'all. And I don't know about y'all, but like when it gets hot outside and I start to sweat, it's like my skin starts to sparkle. It's pretty cool. It looks like diamonds on my skin. It's pretty cool. I can't show it off because but it's just really cool to see. Like it's not like wet. It's not like wet sweat. It's like sparkly. I don't know what that is, but it's natural. I don't know what that's called. So, okay, eat lunch with the new kid. That's number 22. We got 32. We're already 40 minutes in. And see how I didn't even explain this stuff, and it's already 40 minutes. And then the video is gonna be like delayed, so please excuse me. Like after it hits that 30-minute mark, I have to mash up the videos, and then the editor's like is on some goofy shit. Like it's an editor app, and I don't want to have to download an editor app, which is pretty silly. So eat lunch with the new kid. Number 23 is after writing an angry email, read it carefully, then delete it. Like they said, the bugs are starting to come now. And like I said, I'm sweaty and all that, so they want to get the sweat and all that. And once again, we're still grounding. Like we're not faking it. We've been in the grass for 40-something minutes plus. So number 24 is ask your mom to play games. She won't let you win. Because our moms, they try to, I don't know if y'all noticed that yet, but our moms try to pimp us more than our dads so they can have like slaves and have advantage over us because they're the weaker being. So they're trying to purposely, like how they do, like how they did the wolf. They turned the wolf into a chihuahua. They turned the wolf into a beagle. They turned the wolf into a husky. Those type of things. That's what they're trying to do to men. So, and then some are keeping certain men like being tall and all that for warrior purposes. So if you're not, so they're purposely raising warriors and all that, but submissive to women. So it's very disgusting. And if you notice, like if you look at it and really sit back and look at society, you can tell it's that, they call that pattern recognition, which they kind of weaponize that, they want a reason to be racist and all that, but that's just your life. And it's selective outrage and all that stuff. So once again, that's ask your mom to play games. She won't let you win. Because your dad maybe lets you win to give you that false sense of accomplishment and make you feel good, but your mom is gonna keep you in check, if you will, which I don't approve of. It's very disgusting how they act. It's socially acceptable, but it's very disgusting how they act. Like they be cursing at their kids, they smack them and all that stuff. And then you should see on people on social media, they just laugh about that stuff. Like that's abuse. That's domestic violence. But it's socially acceptable domestic violence. Because like I said, certain people in society are allowing socially acceptable things, and it's very disgusting. So like I said, that's ask your mom to play. She won't let you win. Number 25 is manners make the man. And I forgot I wasn't supposed to explain that, but it was I kind of had to go in depth about that. So number 25 is manners make the man. Number 26 is give credit and take the blame. Number 27 is stand up to bullies and protect those who are bullied. Number 28 is write down your dreams. Number 29 is take time to snuggle your pets. They love you so much and are always happy to see you. And I vouch for that. Like I had a lot of animals growing up. I had a hamster, a hermit crab, a chinchilla, a dog, a cat. So all these bugs starting to come now. Like I said, I had all those cool little pets. Yes, I think a mosquito bit me. I'm all itchy now. Like I said, that's why it's important to be aware of your surroundings. Yeah, something definitely bit me. I could tell. I see it all swollen and everything, and I'm scratching. Okay, so that's take time to snuggle your pets. They love you so much, and are always happy to see you, and vice versa. You know, I miss all my pets so much. It broke my heart when I had to put that chinchilla in a trash bag, and you know, very, very sad. His name was Lenny. And like I said, I wish I had a YouTube channel around that time. I had so many people in the house, and everybody wanted to see it. Like my friend group, we all went to the local PetSmart, and I spent $300 on this chinchilla. And then I spent even more money on the cage and everything. So he got the free roam and all that. But I kind of messed up with him because he had like awareness and all that. I kind of blackpilled him by I let him roam around in my room. So I guess putting him back in the cage, it kind of made him sad. So I'm all itchy now, bro. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a mosquito biting me. I got all the bite marks and all that. So I'm gonna have to get in the shower after this. So, like I said, that was 29. That's take time to snuggle your pets. They love you so much and are always happy to see you. Number 30 is be confident and humble at the same time. Number 31 is if ever in doubt, remember whose son you are and refuse to just be ordinary. So, that's, you know, in general, we're somebody's son. So you should really be proud of that. Because if you have a father, even if they're a crappy father, the fact they were still able to procreate is impressive. And they was willing to conform to America and society just for you to be born. So your dad makes a lot of sacrifices, and he's technically a superhero because he can keep the family, he can hold the family together and, you know, pay all these bills. Because as you can see, paying bills really isn't that easy. I mean, it's kind of easy, you know, if you get to a certain level of understanding and if you actually want to go to work. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go to work, so it's hard for me to kind of pay bills. You know, but that's when they force you to do it, so it's kind of like slavery. And then the slave master or a pimp will say, "Oh, it's not slavery because you're getting paid and you get to pick your job and all that bullshit." You know, like people at a patriarchy, which we don't really live in a patriarchy, but the main patriarchy is, you know, they have to keep it alive, and all the people who invested their time into it and wanted to play the game, they have to keep it alive. Alright, so this is be confident and humble at the same time. Number 31, if ever in doubt, remember whose son you are and refuse to just be ordinary. And lastly, number 32 is in all things give glory to God. And that's the full list of 32 things you should teach your son. We are 49 minutes in. We're going to make sure it's an hour. So I'm going to say it one more time all the way through with no rants or no interruptions. So, never shake a man's hand sitting down. Don't enter a pool by the stairs. The man at the barbecue grill is the closest thing to a king. In a negotiation, never make the first offer. Request the late checkout. When entrusted with a secret, keep it. Hold your heroes to a higher standard, which I do, and I no longer have any more heroes, which is sad, you know. You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. And I saw that with every single one of my heroes. And I hate to interrupt, but that's part of it. So, and that goes, yeah, I'm saying with The Incredibles, I finally found his name. His name was Syndrome. And, he met his favorite hero, and he was disappointed. So, yeah. So, hold your heroes to a higher standard. Return a borrowed car with a full tank of gas. So, even when you rent a car, they make you do that. So, there's something to that. I don't know what that is. I guess that's some type of bird. Like, they be fighting out here and all that in the bushes. Hold your heroes to a higher standard. Return a borrowed car with a full tank of gas. Play with passion or don't play at all. When shaking hands, grip firmly and look them in the eyes. Don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be. Don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be. That's what I mean when you be home alone, and then it comes to you like, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that, and then they confront you the day after. So, don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be. The shoulda, woulda, couldas. Next is, if you need music on the beach, you're missing the point. And that's not just the beach, that's the city, the forest, the suburbs, anywhere that you're walking and or relaxing. If you need music on the beach, you're missing the point. Number 13 is carry 2 handkerchiefs, and that's HANDKERCHIEFS, handkerchiefs. Carry 2 handkerchiefs. The one in your back pocket is for you, the one in your breast pocket is for her. Number 14 is, and this should only be if you're wearing a suit. This shouldn't be if you're out and about. You shouldn't just be having napkins in your pocket. So if you need music on the beach, you're missing the point. Number 13 is carry 2 handkerchiefs. The one in your back pocket is for you. The one in your breast pocket is for her. Number 14 is you marry the girl, you marry her family. Number 15 is be like a duck, remain calm on the surface and paddle like crazy underneath. Number 16, experience the serenity of traveling alone. You marry the girl, you marry her family. Number 15 is be like a duck, remain calm on the surface and paddle like crazy underneath. I'm so itchy right now. It's almost unbearable. But that's where you had that discipline. So like I said, be like a duck, remain calm on the surface and paddle like crazy underneath. Number 16 is experience the serenity of traveling alone. Number 17 is never be afraid to ask out the best looking girl in the room. Number 18 is never turn down a breath mint. Number 19 is a sports coat is worth 1,000 words. Number 20 is try writing your own eulogy, EULOGY, and never stop revising. And revising, that's REVISING. Try writing your own eulogy, never stop revising. I haven't drank any water. I haven't drunk water all day. No, I'm not supposed to wake up and drink a bottle of water. Like I said, I just felt compelled to make these videos and all that. Alright. So that's try writing your own eulogy, never stop revising. Number 21 is thank a veteran, then make it up to him or her. Number 22 is eat lunch with the new kid. Number 23 is after writing an angry email, read it carefully, then delete it. Because if you write an angry letter to your boss, he's going to be a pussy and he's going to fire you off that just to show power and dominance, which is pretty lame, and that's not a real leader. But it kind of is, because you show him your rank and all that type of stuff and humbles him. But then that enables corruption and all that type of stuff, which is why we're falling as a country. You're not allowed to criticize your boss. Yeah, it was it was a mosquito. Hopefully y'all see that. I just caught him. Y'all see that right in the middle? So it was a mosquito biting me this whole time. That's why I don't really like to sit out here for a long time in the summertime. Because I'm not vaccinated or nothing. And, you know, they take flu shots and, you know, they have vaccines for that type of stuff. But I don't believe in that. Because what if we didn't have scientists? You know, what if it becomes an apocalypse? What if our society falls? Where will we get our vaccines from? Because everybody isn't like America. They're not gonna, you know, waste their resources on us and all that. So that's after writing an angry email, read it carefully, then delete it. Number 24 is ask your mom to play games. She won't let you win. Number 25 is manners maketh the man. Number 26 is give credit and take the blame. Number 27 is stand up to bullies. And yeah, I'm starting to feel it. I can feel the mosquito. I can feel the mosquito bite. I can feel it like tingle and all that type of stuff. That's why it's important to have that mindfulness, so you can be aware of your body and all that. Okay, so we're 56 minutes in. Like I said, we're still grounding and all that stuff. So number 26 was give credit, take the blame. Number 27 is stand up to bullies and protect those bullied. Number 28 is write down your dreams. And like I said, immediately as soon as you wake up, you should either be journaling, or you can do the morning routine like I did. Immediately wake up and get into your meditative position and close your eyes and just sit there in silence so you can really let it flow. So that's write down your dreams, because all that stuff is for a reason. You know, it's not just for fun. You know, what do you think we sit there for 6 hours for? We'll sleep for 6 hours for, at the least. It's 6 to 8 hours. You know, it's a reason why we get that sleep, not just for relaxation. Even if it's a crazy dream, like I had wild dreams and I don't remember them. That's why it's important to remember it as soon as you wake up, because a lot of those things are epiphanies and prophecies. That's the word, prophecies. Like I still remember when I was 15 or 16, I still remember having dreams of now, which is wild as fuck. It's like I still remember, like, you get these things called deja vu moments. I still remember when I was 15, 16, 17, remembering dreams of when I was, like, what is the word I just said? Prophecies. Like I envisioned my life of today, which is some trippy stuff. I still remember, like a few years ago, I had these like deja vu moments. It was like, oh, I remember this in a dream, you know? And then I sit there for a minute because it usually turns into a nightmare. So I sit there for a minute to make sure I don't go into that timeline of getting attacked or anything. So when I have those deja vu moments, I sit there for a minute and then I try to do something else. But then some people be like, oh, you may end up messing up the timeline, and then you still may face some type of horror. So that's write down your dreams. Number 29 is take time to snuggle your pets. They love you so much and are always happy to see you. Number 30 is be confident and humble at the same time. Number 31 is if ever in doubt, remember whose son you are and refuse to just be ordinary. For example, my dad, he works for the government. I'm not going to say what organization, not the CIA or none of that weirdo stuff, you know. Shout out to CIA though, I would love to work for them. The CIA, the NSA, all that stuff. But I think he works for the Environmental Protection Agency, I believe. And I think that's the I know that's the Ronald Reagan building. But I think they moved buildings. And he works like downtown DC and all that. And he's also a member of the fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi. So that's one of the coolest fraternities you could be in. one of the most known. You know, they're known for being gentlemen and suave and all that type of stuff. Cool. And they have the purple and yellow people called the Omega, not people, but the purple and yellow fraternity called Omega Psi Phi. That's like the big dudes and the aggressive guys. They be like woof 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 and all that type of stuff. You know, that was a soft version of me saying woof woof woof. It's like I'm not gonna do it. So that's if ever in doubt, remember whose son you are and refuse to just be ordinary. And lastly, number 32 is in all things give glory to God, or whatever entity you believe in at the highest forms. You know, because they gave us the word God. So God transcends past that word, but that's like the only word that we really know and has that energy in it. You know, we have God, we have Jesus, but Jesus isn't God. You know what I'm saying? He's the Son of God. And we really shouldn't be following Jesus per se. Well, no, we should follow him, but we shouldn't be worshiping him. So now if you can't get to his level, I guess you can worship him. Not I guess, but you should worship him and follow his teachings. But you get to a point where you follow him and then you realize that he's kind of oppressing you. Yes, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, is oppressing us. Whether it's for our own good or not, it's still oppression. So, for example, all this stuff isn't in the Bible. You know what I mean? And then other religions have the chakra system. Other religions tell us to pray 5 times a day. And you don't really have to do that stuff, but you're still missing out on religious practices that actually work. So, you know, we got to take that up with Jesus. Like I said, we're supposed to get on his level, not really worshiping and all that. But a lot of people fall short. You know, even if we sin, you know, that's why you ask for forgiveness and then you move past it. But you shouldn't go back to your old ways of that, you know. And like I said, he died for our sins and all that stuff already, so. And he made it up to 33 years old and left. And that's a real thing, by the way. You can really decide to just leave. Like once you get to a certain level of spirituality and all that, you can go in the woods, or you can get to that meditative position I showed, and you could do a certain technique, and you could do something. You can mummify yourself, if you will. But that's something totally different than, you know, transcended what Jesus did, because his whole body transcended. And even certain Tibetan monks could do that. You know, like the really ascended Tibetan monks, like when they're out in the mountains, like on the highest forms. You know, I never seen it, like with my own 2 eyes, but I know they can do that stuff. Like they can do like these things called super jumps, like you can see it on TV. Like they kind of depict them. But they had a documentary where I don't know if they was doing special effects or the Tibetan monk actually did it, but he actually disappeared. Like he got into a meditative position and his clothes was just there. Like he kind of just like vanished. And then his clothes was just there. Almost like how the rapture was. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's called the rapture. And you pretty much, like they have these things called judgment days in the apocalypse. So whenever Jesus comes back, he's allegedly, we're going to transcend to heaven. Yeah, we're going to transcend to heaven, known as the rapture. And then all the people who don't believe in Jesus and all that, they're going to still be left on earth. So I don't know how we're going to be raptured. I don't know if we just die or we vanish like how the Tibetan monks did, or like how Jesus did when he was in the cave and he just vanished. So it's definitely possible. Like I said, I'm going to save that for another video, but we're supposed to get to a level called Ascended Masters. That's ASCENDED, Ascended and Master. which is what Jesus Christ was. And they have a lot of them. They have a lot of ascended masters to get us to that level. But I'm not going to get into that. Because I've seen what my other videos did, and I didn't get any likes, so I won't speak on that. I won't speak on that stuff. Alright, so we just knocked out that video. We did one video. Well, we did 2 videos this morning. 2 1-hour-long videos. And I posted 2 long-form contents yesterday. So I don't see any other creator that's doing this, or that's being pushed on us in the algorithm. I'm seeing a bunch of people on here, but I'm not seeing what that's why I said I'm the Kennard Economy, and I felt compelled to make this YouTube channel because I didn't see anybody else doing it. So I was like, sure, why not? And like I said, I need that Xbox, man. I really, really, really want that Xbox. And as y'all can see, I'm putting in the work. I should be motivating the youth by doing this. Like I want clothes, and I want recreational, another 4 gigabyte thing that said it's done. So like I said, I can't make these long form contents because it's going to be all choppy, and the editor thing won't let me bunch up over 2 hours worth of videos. So I'm not going to do that. So we're going to keep it moving. And like I said, I hope I even have enough storage space. Like, I have to delete things. I only have 64 gigabytes. And believe it or not, I didn't know that these things take up gigabytes like that. It's ridiculous. It's already 4 gigabytes. So that means I would have had 60. Then go down even more, I would have had about 54 or something like that. That type of shit. So I have 2 more. Well, I have 1 more video to make throughout these little papers, and I'm gonna keep it moving. So this video was titled Lessons You Should Teach Your Son, specifically your son. But as you can see, some of these things you can teach your daughter or your significant other. So that was all 32. That was 32 lessons, and I could have went more, but this is the specific list I found that all cultures could do. So if you don't agree with this stuff, it's kind of a red flag. You know what I mean? But it's understandable why y'all don't agree with some of this stuff, but it's still a red flag overall. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna head out because I don't know what percentage my phone is on. It's 21. My phone is on 21. The time is 10 o'clock. We still grinding and grounding. After I'm done all this, I'm gonna listen to some music, and I'm gonna look at an anime just to celebrate. So the next video will be called What Are Women Looking For in a Husband? So I put every single thing that they're looking for in a husband, like the traits. So this is going to really help out a lot of men, and a lot of men won't agree with this, but it's the truth though. And all women they're different, but this is like a universal list of what most women want in a husband, not in a boyfriend, a husband that they want to spend their entire life with. So we're going to get into that. It's not a long list, but it's something like how I did with this. And as you can see, just off of this was an hour-long video. So we're going to keep it pushing. The time is 10 o'clock. I said I was going to make videos morning, noon, afternoon, evening, and night. So we're just going to keep going until I can't. And I don't really want to post every video that I want to, because you still have to kind of time it in a way. But you see, everybody has different times in the day, so it's good to create content for all walks of life. But I'm a Black Pill channel, so get away. Like I said, the bugs come straight to me. I'm in this big ass backyard, not a picket fence or nothing. The bugs want to chill with me. But I'm the canard economy, so you know, I'm the heart of America. Everybody can come. And like I said, I wanted to kind of discuss certain topics, but I asked if y'all wanted American Revolution. All I got was 47 views, and ain't nobody say yes or no in the comments. So I don't know if those are bots. I don't know if those are, agents, all that stuff. Because there was a whole bot on Twitter trying to call me schizophrenic and manic and bipolar and all this goofy stuff, and they added the BetterHelp people. like they have like this thing called BetterHelp, and they added them, and they tried to add me. They added them and saying, "Hey, get this dude some help." So they trying to set me up and go into the psych ward and all that goofy stuff. And how you know that stuff is bullshit is because they closed it all down. Like a lot of these people think they know psychiatry and all that stuff, psychology and all that stuff, but they just know the information. They just were educated on it. So they're kind of like AI. They're just a shitty version of AI. Like I said, if y'all go on Twitter, y'all should know the internet by now. Y'all can see these people be trolling and all this goofy stuff, but they're upgrading their forms of rage bait. So they're purposely being stupid, and they're purposely acting like idiots and all that type of stuff, just so they can get a comment. And people, because I believe those are demons, like actual demons in their body, and they like get a rise out of all that goofy shit, which I don't understand. I like to see people rage on like video games, I like to see them break stuff and all that type of stuff. So I guess that's a form of seeing people angry, but that's kind of funny. Like that's a video game that they lost, so it's understandable. Y'all just doing it to make people mad. It's pretty gay. But a lot of people aren't humans anymore, so especially white people, they kind of transcended past being human, so they're only specifically they see themselves as God. They see themselves as arrogant demigods, so they're only pleasuring themselves. They're doing all the types of, they're forcing their emotions like an NPC and all that type of stuff. Like they like to over exaggerate just to feel something. It's very, very lame. But once you get to a certain point, it's like the emotions are just in the body, and you just transcend past all that stuff. That's why I'm so nice and calm and all that. Because like I said, I did all the stuff. I did all the work. Every single human emotion in the body. And mindfulness, shadow work, journaling. Learning little lists like this. Lessons to teach your son. Because like I said, this is just at the least that I have for y'all. I'm still going in. I really didn't even get started. But I spoke on a few things such as the dead internet theory and all that stuff. And nobody said anything. So we're at that point. And then y'all took the coronavirus vaccine. So I guess it's not my place anymore to lead y'all. It has to be somebody who, has rank, a politician, someone who also took the coronavirus vaccine, people who cut their hair, groom themselves and all that stuff. I gotta look nice and cute for y'all, just for y'all to take me seriously, which is, it's kind of homosexual and down low, which is what I see what the women were talking about down low guys. So, and if you really, and once you're really, really masculine, you can see the men trying to flirt with you and all this weirdo stuff. Because a lot of the guys, like, they try to be on Funny Time and all that stuff. But it's a way of flirting and trying to get you to be their friend. So even though they don't want to have sex with you, they still want to be your friend. You know what I mean? And they try to tell you what to do. They try to make you follow their social norms and all that. Like they're your son. like they're your dad or something. You know what I'm saying? And then if you don't listen to them, they be like, "Oh, you can't hang out with me anymore." Like it's. I thought somebody was walking in my yard. But that's in another neighborhood. That's a whole nother neighborhood. But like I said, they'll cut you off the smallest thing, the smallest flaw. They'll cut you off like it's nothing. You could be friends with somebody for 5 years. You do one thing, that's it. You know. All right. So we're gonna keep it moving. My phone is on 16%. I gotta make this last video, and I'm gonna upload them because it takes an hour just to upload the video. Believe it or not, it's just pretty wild. It'd be like it says processing, and then it says like 53 minutes remaining. So that's why I like to make all these videos in one setting and then drop them all. But I also don't like to drop them all at the same time because some videos don't have the same time length, and I like to keep it in a chronological type order. Like for example, in my previous videos, I kind of wanted to show the me dancing and the my life's work one before the morning routine, but since those were shorter form videos, it was able to upload quicker. Because it was Saturday or Sunday, I uploaded a good 5 or 6 videos of hour-long morning routines, and of practical too. It's not like I'm trying to run up the clock or nothing. You know, it's just me just talking. So that's how I know this was kind of my life path, or you know, your life purpose and all that type of stuff. And like I said, I'm really grinding with this stuff. I'm trying to get these hours in. I'm trying to get these subscribers. So yeah, let's keep it rolling. It's an hour 16 minutes. My phone is on 16%. We're gonna cut it off right there. 10 seconds left. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Morning time, and we're gonna go from there. Love y'all.